Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I am your host. We will be talking tonight buying tips and what is BRA. This pandemic has impacted everyone how to deal with buying and selling. But our procedure and protocol to engage a consumer to sign a BRA, which is called Buyer Representation Agreement, or Buyer Customer Services, remains the same. So it is very, very important for you when you are establishing a relationship with a realtor. Realtor is a trademark of Canadian Real Estate Association. When you decided, when you made a decision to purchase a home, we're going to be specifically talking about residential market. The first thing that comes to you, I'm going to hire a realtor, and you're going to search through internet, realtor.ca, property, and then you also have a referral from your friends and family who have bought a property from a realtor that has worked with them. So when you engage a realtor, you like to know what kind of experience he or she has, and how do I choose from. So let's assume you talk to some friends and family who have bought the property, and you have chosen to interview a realtor to come to see you. So the first thing the realtor will do to you is call working with the realtor a form that is a brochure, is consumer relationship. Under Real Estate Business Broker Act, we are licensed practitioners, and we'll show you a license on our phone, and has a number that shows you how long this licensed person is, broker or salesperson is valid, what is the name of the brokerage, and they should have in their possession. So working with a realtor is a form which defines and helps you to explain, do you want a client relationship or a customer relationship? Client relationship will put a lot of fiduciary duty upon your brokerage that you're going to engage. So this is the form that look like. This is from Toronto Board, the form. We talk about client. This is the highest standard of obligation when you engage someone to hire a realtor and the brokerage that you sign a clientele. It's a part of the fiduciary duty to protect your interest. The realtor will go through with you and explain you why you need to sign a BRA, and then we'll talk about the BRA, is Buyer Representation Agreement. So basically, under the law, you could have a one-person brokerage who is a sole proprietor can have a brokerage, or you have a partner, they can have a brokerage, or you can have a corporation like City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage that I have, where it's a corporation. So you sign agreement, a buyer representation agreement with the corporation under the license, because license is given to the brokerage. It could be an individual, it could be a partner, it could be a corporation. So we'll talk about that. So he explained your relationship, because if you want to protect your interest, the highest obligation is signing a buyer representation agreement. The next service is called customer service. When you do not want to sign a contract with a brokerage, but you still will be getting a fair treatment, honest advice, fairness, and integrity. The client relationship is basically is protecting the client interest is the primary responsibility when you become a client. Customer, there will be a honest, fair, and integrity included in our services. And to fair. The restriction is a higher service as compared to lesser service for the customer. So you will decide when you meet a realtor, it will talk to you about the difference between the two. And what happens when you sign a BRA or buyer representation agreement, because this is a brochure, and you should discuss this form when you meet a real estate professional or realtor, because there are some real estate professionals who may not be member of Canadian Real Estate Association. They are working exclusively. They're not member of the board. Therefore, they don't need to use the word trademark called realtor. In order for them to practice in Ontario, they have to have a license from Real Estate Council of Ontario under REBA, now Teresa Act. So it's not necessary to join a board. Boards or Canadian Real Estate Association, Ontario Real Estate Association are trade organizations. It's a voluntary membership. If you want to use the word trademark realtor, you use them. So once the commitment is made, the buyer and this with the buyer representative, BRA, if you have, or the brokerage, they will go and search the property. They meet with you and discuss those things, and we can talk about in the agreement of purchase and sale. The critical information you have to know is the personal information is never shared to the public, because you want to buy a property, you have details we're going to talk about in the BRA. So therefore, once you have went through it, you acknowledge that a buyer name is specified, and you acknowledge that you are getting a BRA agreement, you want to proceed further. So you will have a choice on this form to choose to a client or a customer. It will have a restriction. We're going to talk about that. So when you sign this brochure, this does not mean that you have already made a commitment with your brokerage. It is strictly, it says that this form is for information only and not a contract. Unless you sign a BRA, buyer representation agreement, or buyer customer service form, there is no commitment at this moment. So what was the last time that you really have spoken to a realtor and talk about relationship? So this is the first document, which is a brochure that explains the relationship between you and the brokerage. And then you say, okay, I signed that. But you have not made a commitment. Make sure that you have seen it, reviewed it, you like to sign it, you want to move the relationship forward, then you sign this document. Because now you are choosing on this form, you will initial two places. You pick and choose. You want to be a client, there's a different place. It says if you sign as a client, it says initially is representing, that means the brokerage is representing my interest to be documented in a separate written agency representation agreement. I understand that the brokerage may represent and or provide customer service to other buyers and sellers. So that means this form can be used for selling also. So that's why this option is specified. It could be for use for the buyer or seller, because there are two sections of the form. What they're saying is if they are representing you as a client, the buyer will be represented as a customer. Okay. Now, if you decide not to do that, the second option is the brokerage is representing my interest to be documented in a separate written customer service agreement, but will not act in and will act in fair, ethical, and professional manner. So there is no compromise in terms of fairness ethical and professional manner. Only thing is the client has the highest service because protecting the client's interest. So once you sign this form, then you move to BRA, and I want to tell you what the BRA is about. And then we're going to give you B tips. If we don't have time, will make you reference to my website where I have very comprehensive buying tips on city-pro.net that you can go there and you can check that, but we're going to go there. So what is a BRA? Buyer Representation Agreement. It's called Authority for Purchase or Lease. Means this document that you sign with a realtor who is licensed to practice. Remember I mentioned that not necessarily every realtor is a member of Canadian Real Estate Association. As long as he can show you Real Estate Council of Ontario license, they are the governing regulator, Real Estate Council of Ontario. They show you a license on their phone that they have a license to practice real estate. They should have in their possession. They can practice. They can do that. But they will not have access to these forms if they're not a member of Canadian Real Estate Association or Toronto Real Estate Board or Mississauga Real Estate Board or other board or member of OREA. So basically, you are using the same form for buying or selling as a working with a realtor, and also BRA, Authority for Purchase or Lease. So you can use the same agreement for your buying or selling. So the first thing is, it comes the name of the brokerage that is representing you. Remember that under the law, you are dealing with a brokerage. Then it will have a brokerage license address. Pay attention. And because you want to make sure this brokerage is registered with RECO, and I can tell you, you can go to RECO, RECO.on.ca, and verify the name of the brokerage, name of the realtor, or the licensed practitioner working with you. So make sure that these information is confirmed that you are dealing with a legitimate license holder, unless they can show you the license on the phone. Then you talk about the buyer. Buyer name is specified, whose name will be used on the agreement of purchase and sale. You may be able to add them, but this is where the buyer, our relationship begins. Then you can put their address where they live. You do the ID checkup to make sure they are the one who are clients. So use your driving license, which is very popular to verify the name and addresses and other information. Then the most important thing is commencement of your relationship. So when you are signing an agreement of purchase and sale, when this agreement needs to commence, you cannot go backdated. It has to be moving for current and moving forward. So when it begins, tonight, 8 p.m., and on for example, July 16, it is only for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever time that you decide, or it could be a specific to a specific property. You can do that. And this is where you put. So commencement and expiring date. This is very important part of the BRA. And then you initial them if it's done for agreement for more than 6 months. The Real Estate Business Broker Act 2002, REBA, it says that if they succeed 6 months, you will initial, that is called buyer initial. That means you have agreed to this. All agreements should have a commencement date, time, and expiry date. That means that's the period that you have retained the services of the brokerage. It's very, very important. Now, type of property you're looking. You are residential, townhome is a mostly single residential. Could be townhome, could be a detached home, could be a SAMI. So you define, oh, this is for residential use. The other one is geographic location. There are in Mississauga, you may end up with 2-3 realtors because you are committing someone to buy you a house. So geographic location, Mississauga, if you put Mississauga, you cannot deal with any other agent. or brokerage because you are now bound by this agreement for that period in Mississauga. If you can say it's specific to a property, you can put that property address there. Or you are talking about a particular community. Let's say you want Mineola, you want Meadowvale, you want Lisgar. You can specify that this agreement is for this community only. Then you can have a multiple brokerage working with you if you want. You be smart. So this is where you put those there. So definition and interpretation. This is a first one, that this is the only agreement that you have signed. You have not signed BRA with anybody else. But if you have signed a BRA that shows a different location, then you are protected. But if you signed a blank agreement, BRA, then you can only exclusively work with that person for that particular area, a period of time. So the commission arrangement, this is part and parcel with your agreement. So mostly you will sign to agree to give commission. By law, there is no restriction. Whatever that you agree with your brokerage or the agent that you agree to work with, that's the commission that you pay. Yes, if you like a property in the marketplace and that property is available and they're offering cooperating commission, then you don't have to pay because your brokerage representative who is representing you will put an offer, and with that, there will be confirmation of cooperation and representation in which they will claim commission from the seller. But the right to have the commission is specified in your agreement. If a situation arises when you don't want, you want to pay yourself, and you don't want your client to collect, your realtor to collect from the cooperating broker, or the seller is not offering any commission, in those cases, then you end up paying for the commission plus HST. HST is 13%, is applicable to all transactions in Ontario. So there will be a document where initial will be on the side brokerage, and then on the other side will be the you as a buyer representation agreement. Then you also have a clauses in there. Okay, so number 3 clause and representation. So the buyer broker is really, as a brokerage, is representing you. Okay. If there is a multiple offer, this representation that only happens when the seller and the buyer are the same. In that case, there are restrictions. When you are engaging with the one brokerage that has a listing and also you want them to represent you and a buyer, so your motivation will not be discussed. For example, the seller, the buyer further understand, acknowledge that the broker shall not disclose that the seller may or will accept less than the listed price. That means unless the otherwise structured writing by the seller. So let's assume there is a list price and the buyer cannot tell you, buyer representative will not tell you what seller is willing to accept less than the list price unless seller gives us in writing. That's a private and confidential information. Similarly, that the buyer, or if you are a buyer, they cannot tell the seller that buyer is willing to give you more money than what they have offered. It's a confidential. And the motivation, personal information cannot be disclosed. The price, what is buyer is willing to offer or what seller is willing to accept, we cannot disclose. Price is between buyer and seller unless it is given in writing. The broker shall not disclose buyer terms of any other offer. For example, we have a multiple offer. We are representing the buyer and seller, and we have lots of offers on one listing. The brokerage that is listing will not disclose the details about the other offers. It's against the law. So these are when you have a multiple representation. So when to maintain the trust and integrity of the real estate system in Ontario. This is particularly says where a broker represent both the seller and buyer, multiple representation, the broker shall not be entitled or authorized to be agent for either the buyer or the seller for the purpose of giving and receiving notices. It is recommended that if you are representing buyer and seller, the notice should go to the lawyer or other people or directly to the buyer and sellers. Now, refer properties. When you have signed up an agreement with the brokerage, anytime you see the property, you have a legal obligation to refer those to your realtor, brokerage, so they can help and negotiate the price for you. So that means you cannot go out and start bargaining with other people because you made a commitment. Indemnification. The brokerage and representative of the brokerage are trained in dealing with real estate, but not qualified in determining the physical condition of the land. So when we are showing you a property, you're going to have a home inspector to verify, and you are indemnifying that it's not our responsibility. We are helping you to do due diligence, to guide you to right people to do the due diligence. So you are going to indemnify us against this. So I'm going to read this clause. This is a very interesting clause. The buyer agrees that the brokerage and representative of the brokerage shall not be liable for any defects, whether latent or patent, to be the land or improvement thereof. All information supplied by the seller or landlord or the listing brokerage may not have been verified and is not warranted by the brokerage, because you are a buyer representative. You are a client of the buyer. So seller is not giving information. You cannot hold your broker responsible. Finder fee. The next clause. If buyer representative who is representing you receive some compensation from other, they have to notify you the amount they're getting referred. For example, you're getting a mortgage. If they get paid, they need to disclose that to you, the amount that you're being paid. Consumer report. This gives you a right that you can do a consumer report can be obtained by the seller in order to make sure that you qualify, or even the brokerage. We can check that. And this, you are also giving consent to use the information for the purpose of purchasing a house. So this is a consent clause number 8. Conflict of discrepancy. That means this is the only agreement you have. You have some promises between you and the potential realtor or brokerage. This is the final document. So make sure you read that agreement. And successors and assignees, the heirs and executor, administrators, successor and assigned, understand one are bound by this agreement. So this agreement is bound. It will transfer to whoever the heirs are. Electronic communication, you allow us to do electronic communication on your behalf. And Schedule A is where you define your needs. For example, if you're doing a BRA with a brokerage, make sure you put down condition what you want for the brokerage to work for you. Do not assume anything. Do not expect anything. You write down what type of house you want, what type of bedroom you want, what kind of lot you want, number of square footage that you want, location you want. You can specify these things because this is part and parcel. You are entering into a legal document that creates obligation between the buyer and the seller. Then you both, before you sign this agreement, this is a very extensive document actually, then the buyer and seller sign the paper, they put their date and phone numbers, that declaration of insurance. the real estate broker or salesperson that come to you will sign a declaration. The salesperson broker hereby declare that she is insured under the Real Estate Business Broker Act, because there is a consumer protection program that they have insurances, because when you give deposit, your deposit is protected. Okay. And then you have to acknowledge that. At the bottom of the page is acknowledgement. So please read these documents. This is called BRA. This is very, very important. The other one, we talk of customer service. It has a similar thing, is OEA form, customer service. It has a similar information. And most cases, sometimes you need someone to represent you. You want someone to represent you, and sometimes the seller doesn't want to pay. And some sellers say, yes, I will pay, but they don't sign any agreement. So we will go to ask the customer, okay, if you are a seller and not, your property is not on MLS, then you have to sign a customer service as a seller to pay commission to us, because you as a buyer has chosen this property, this is not on MLS, and you need to pay. That's why that commission specified in BRA is there. So again, the customer service, I explained you, it has the same information, the buyer, all your information, seller information, day, time, and everything the same. Only thing is that it will be a customer service, not the highest service that you want. So I thought I'd share with you, and you can also, just for your information, when you are not satisfied with the service, you can suspension of buyer representation agreement. You have a right to ask for suspension if you're not satisfied. And also, Schedule A, which normally defines very specific restriction or schedule is a part of your agreement, BRA. You can define special condition, which I told you, this is called Schedule A. You can suspend your relationship if you're not happy, because the service that you expected is not being delivered, or you can have it terminated. The goal is to have a good bonding relationship with your realtor. I'm a broker of record for City Pro Realty. I have 6 designations in real estate. I'm a fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, fellow Real Estate Institute of Canada, we call FRI. I'm a certified real estate specialist and member of Real Estate Institute of Canada. I'm a CIPS. I'm a certified international property specialist, member of NAR. And we have a network around the globe. I'm a senior real estate specialist. So if you are an older person, 50 plus market, I have a specialized training. I'm a seller representative specialist. I'm specialized in selling property only. It's called SRES. And also I'm an ABR, accredited buyer representative, member of NAR. But the highest in Canada is fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, called FRI. We follow the highest ethical standards, professionalism, integrity. Our focus is to giving a value to service to our client. I'm a broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc., providing services for the last 15 years. My brokerage has been in business for 13 plus years. We have a very, very diverse client across Ontario. We are there to help you. If you ever need any service in real estate, you can contact my office. My number is 905-785-9923. You are on Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. Awaz Entertainment have more than 2.5 million people watching our program every month on Awaz Entertainment Awaz TV, IPO, IPTV 580 channel is available to Canada and across the globe. My name is Tahir Qureshi. We're going to take a short break, and after that we'll come back and we talk about the buying tips on real estate, how you buy your home. Thank you. Bye.
4 बजे देखिए आपका किचन विद शहबाज गोरी। सुबह 5 बजे देखिए सितारे और हम। 5:30 बजे देखिए मैसेज ऑफ मर्सी। शाम 6 बजे देखिए दीन और दुनिया। इस्लाम इन मॉडर्न टाइम मजर अयूब के साथ देखिए हर मंगल शाम 6 बजे और हर जुमा शाम 5 बजे। हालात हाजरा सलमान अरशद के साथ देखिए हर पीर को शाम 7 बजे और जुमेरात 8 बजे। थिंक अबाउट इट सलमान कुरैशी के साथ हर मंगल शाम 7 बजे। रियल्टी कॉफी टॉक ताहिर कुरैशी के साथ देखिए हर जुमेरात 7 बजे। टुनाइट टॉक रिजवान असलम के साथ हर जुमे को 7 बजे। कससुल अंबिया सलमान अरशद के साथ हर इतवार 7 बजे। देखिए तकरार कीजिए तकरार समीना जबीन के साथ रोज रात 9 बजे। आप देख रहे हैं आवाज एंटरटेनमेंट, आवाज आपकी, चैनल हमारा, जुड़िए हमसे।
Finding halal grocery has never been easier. Whether it's choosing halal meat, delicious bakery items, delicious Pakistani cooked foods, or daily groceries, Pak Darbar Supermarket is a one-stop shop for your all day-to-day grocery needs. We are open daily to serve you quality grocery products, fresh fruits, vegetables, and a huge variety of everyday essentials. Find some of the best traditional cultural dishes in one place. Dine in or take out. We also offer catering services. Pak Darbar Supermarket. Visit us today at 2273 Dundas Street West, Mississauga.
At Dame Drops told us how good Popeye's buttermilk biscuit shrimp is without us even asking.
So crunchy, buttery, just like those biscuits. Are you hungry yet?
8 shrimp, a side, and a biscuit for just $6.99.
At KM 9000 sang about Popeye's buttermilk biscuit shrimp because he was feeling it.
Shrimp, 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 shrimp. Shrimp, 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 shrimp.
8 shrimp, a side, and a biscuit for just $6.99.
Welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm your host. We talk about the BRA, working with the realtor. Now we're going to talk about tips, buying tips. If you want to see the detailed tips, you can visit my website, city-pro.net, and buying tips. You can go and select that and you can download all the information. Today, we're going to talk about when you are buying a property, let's assume you got a realtor, you selected it. So most important thing come to you is the community, where you want to live. So is the community where you want to choose has a school? Does it has a city services? Is it a medical doctor, nurses available? Are there shopping mall, groceries and pharmacy, parks, playground and daycare? These are the facilities that you need to have when you choose a community where you want to live and bring your family. If you have a younger children, you want to have a school and you want to make sure if elderly, you are close to the hospital or medical facilities. Dentist is a common dentist and medical facility. Shopping mall or groceries. You want to make sure you have a shopping plaza nearby in the area. It makes life easy. So you select the community. For example, in Mississauga, I can name you a couple of community, for example, Lisgar, Meadowvale, Mineola, Credit Mills, Streetsville. These are the communities where you will further check what facility they have. Now, the neighborhood. The other thing is very important is the neighborhood. Is it urban? You choose, you want the urban, suburban, or rural area, where you want to live. So this is a choice you will make when you're selecting where you want to live. Is this older or is it newer? You want to move to an older area because you will see more mature trees and landscape. In a new area is under development. They may not have the facilities under being developed. Type of the homes. Are you looking at detached home, semi-home, semi-detached, townhome, condominium, or condo apartment? These are the things is based on your qualification when you go to the mortgage broker and get you qualified. Then it's a quiet street. What type of group of owners, age group that you want? You want to make sure that if you have a younger family, you want to live in an area where everybody is in an average age. Because if you go to the senior homes area and you have a young family, you're going to feel odd about it. That's why we have a senior homes separately located where there is a health service provider facilities there. So you look at that. Quiet streets, you want to make sure the area they're choosing is a quiet, is not too much traffic. These are the choices you make when you are selecting a neighborhood. Then what about the adequate power lights? If you are selecting a street that has adequate city lights, you don't have to pay from your pocket. You're already paying property taxes. So this is why it's important to have a lights on the street. So you focus on that? Do you look into that? You should. Now, do you see the visible telephone line or power line that bothers you? That you have to look into that. That the area that you are choosing, to make sure there's no power lines and phone lines hanging in front of your house. Then, and you also want to look in the well-cared yards. When you walk on is well-maintained, that means somebody who owns a property has a lot of pride, they maintain the property. Then sidewalks. Sometimes you have more cars in the house. If you choose a property that has sidewalk, you will be able to only park two. If you have a double garage, if you have a single garage, you can only park one. But if you have no sidewalk, you may be able to park 2 or 4 park depending on the number of garages you have. This is very critical. And what is the general condition of the property in the neighborhood? That means if you drive around and look at the neighborhood, people are maintaining their landscape, they're doing maintenance, a nice light there, and landscape is done right. That means people are maintaining their property. The value will remain good for you. Now, also important thing is also distance between house and other house. Because for the privacy, if you have a distance from house to house, right now new construction is very, very close. I believe is about 1.5 meters distance between two properties because our land is short in Mississauga, for example. And you have to watch that. And you also have to watch the street restriction on the parking. If you're doing an event and you have a restriction on the streets, people won't be, your guest will not be able to park. This is very, very important for you to pay attention when you're buying it. And possible problem, poor maintained roads. If the roads are not maintained, it's very, very bad. So that means that it's not taken care of well. So these are the things when you look at the neighborhood that you want to live. And most important thing is now, when we are chosen the community, we have chosen the neighborhood, is exterior finish. You are looking at lot size, landscape condition, good or bad. You also have a driveway parking. Is it well paved? Is it an interlock? Is it concrete, pattern concrete? This is very important. And general condition of the lot. Is it a well-maintained lot? Good size that you want. And also front yard. How much area you have in the front? How much you have in the back? How much you have on the side? And you have a mature trees. You need to know what the square footage of the land is. In front, if you will have a frontage, you have a depth, or you look at the square footage of the total lot. Shrubs and curb appeal. What kind of curb appeal it is. This all information is very critical for you And condition of walkway, if there is a walkway, is it in a bad shape, damaged? Because when you can see most frequently utility companies are coming and tearing down and putting new cables and pipes. So is it well maintained? And this is very important. And the structure of the house, structure details. So you go to the detail. Then important thing is, so this information is all available on city-pro.net. And I can just, when you go to buying on city-pro.net, you look at the buying icon, click on that, it will drop you a line, and the bottom it says buying trips. You will see a 12-step guide to buying home right there. You can download this information, you can print it. So the other thing is interior now. We're going to do the interior of the house. General size and colors of the house, I mean the brick colors. When you come inside, you have to choose the painting is nice, well maintained. Eating area, yes or no. Cooking food, preparing island. Do they have an island or not? Sufficient cupboard space for stocking your food in the kitchen. Sufficient counter space for cutting and serving. And this is important. And also countertop type is a granite countertop, is a quartz, or other regular counters. So you check that. And the floor, type of floor, you have a hardwood flooring, you have a hardwood, engineered hardwood, you have a laminate flooring, you have a tiles. This is very, very important because it's a value that you look at them. And the pantry, if you have an extra pantry, if your wife or the spouse, either one, can like to cook, they want to have extra space for pantry, you could store the spices and other stuff. So sink, is it a single sink or is it double sink? So this is important for you to know that. So I'm going to be looking at this. Is the appliances included or not included? General appliance condition, is it good? Working condition? Do you like the color or do you plan to replace them? These are the things that you watch. Family room, you have a fireplace or not is very important. Is it a living room? Floor type, what type of floor you have? We talk about that. Is it a separate room or is a combined room with living and dining? Other details, square footage of the house. You need to know square footage of the house. Is foyer closet? Is there a closet for visitors to come in and drop their shoes or coats there? Bathroom, number of bathrooms that you need to know. Number of bedrooms that you need to know. What are the floor type? Is it hardwood, carpet, or they call broadloom, laminate flooring? This is very important. Is it a finished basement? Is it a finished basement? Is it a legal basement? Or is it just a finish for personal use? Is there a kitchen? Did they get the permit for the finishing the basement? These are very important. Is a window new or old? Roof was changed. When? Is the new furnace, air conditioning? These are all cost of paying. You can end up paying if you don't know about the condition because you have to budget them to make sure this is what you're buying. And you can put this instruction, Schedule A of buyer representation agreement, so your realtor who is representing you will be looking for this information, what they agreed in the BRA. People think that I just signed the agreement, close my eyes, and don't even know what I wrote. No. You are responsible when you get a copy of the BRA and you sign a BRA, and you cannot deny that when you have a copy. So put a Schedule A, whatever you want, and get it done. And therefore, you are being represented by a brokerage professionally, and you have chosen the right person to represent you who is on behalf of the brokerage. So this all information, I'm going to summon this up. All information, buying tips are available on our website, city-pro.net. Go to our website and click on buying. It drops menu and click the buying tips and you will get all this information available to you at the fingertips. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada. I'm a certified real estate specialist. I'm a certified international property specialist. I'm a senior real estate specialist. I'm a seller representative specialist. I'm a accredited buyer representative. I'm a broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. My passion is real estate, and your success is my priority. So I thank you very much, viewers watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. If you have any questions about real estate or this program, feel free to call me on my office number 905-785-9923, or my direct number is 416-451-3489. My passion is real estate. Your success is my priority. Thank you for watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the globe. You will watch next episode on next Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for watching. I take this opportunity to thank our health staff, doctors, nurses, medical staff, putting their life online to protect Canadians, providing them health service to stop the spread of coronavirus. We salute you. We thank you. Please do remember to help charities, give donations to the food banks, help fellow Canadian. May God bless you all for watching. May God bless you all, and may God bless Canada. Thank you very much. Bye for now.